kind of took a spring break per se. After coming back from Puerto Rico, it was a lot of getting back into the normal swing of things, and still don't feel much like myself that I normally am accustomed to. But it's been a lot of fasting. It's been a lot of family time. It's been a lot of refocusing on school, work, business, profession. It's been a lot of getting back to the things that I'm actually in the process of accomplishing. It's been less about outside noise, more about inside focus. And I'm more so thankful that I have a constant reminder to go ahead and get back into speaking and getting back into, the podcast state, because I have a profound ability to set things up exactly the way that I want them to go. Spend some time out in nature, spend some time out, in the yard, cutting trees, planting seeds, turning an empty space into a space that's beautiful in nature. Doing the same thing with myself, turning emptiness into something that's full on the inside. Learning to be patient, learning to be grateful, learning not to be too hard on myself, learning not to be too ambitious to the point where you lose yourself. And, all of these things are things that show you who exactly you are. And I couldn't be more thankful and more grateful that, that time span of 3 to 4 to 5 weeks or whatever it was, I was still seeing signs of what the podcast itself will be once it's all said and done. And a lot of things going on in the outside world, a lot of things going on in the social media world, a lot of things going on in the family that, if I'm being honest, I just don't even know that those things even exist. Because I'm so tapped into myself right now. I'm so tapped into what I actually have going on for me. And I'm just thankful for that, So I've been spending a lot of time getting back to the finances, getting back to, the physical fitness, getting back to the wisdom, getting back to the fast, and getting back to the things that actually catapulted me to where I'm at right now in the first place. I didn't want to lose sight of the basics. I think getting back to the basics is one of the most important things that you could do, as a human. Just getting back to what got you exactly where you at. That's what's gonna keep you there. And I kind of want to go ahead and elaborate on that for this podcast, because getting back to the basics, man, what a journey. What a journey. And if you think about it, Normally what happens is the things that got you to where you were at, you normally forget about them. You normally put those on the back burner and you start to try to do other things. You start to try to find something new to do because you want to try to stay, ahead of the game. Um, but if you forget those things that got you there, you won't be able to sustain. See, it's certain fundamentals and certain principles that allow for you as the individual to start to find your way. See, when I was growing up, there was no basics. There was no fundamentals. No foundations was established. The groundwork wasn't laid. The path wasn't laid. It was just so much winging it going on to the point where I needed to go ahead and figure out what the foundations was, what the blueprint was in order for me to go ahead and start to build. So those are the things that actually are important. Now, when I say the foundations and the blueprint and the groundwork and the basics, for me, what that looks like is making sure that I pick up a book and start reading. Not just reading a book in its entirety, but reading each page and actually understanding what that page is saying to me. Because either you can read 100 books or you can read that one page 100 times to try to figure out exactly what it is that sentence or what it is that paragraph is actually saying to you. And most of the time people lose sight of those things. People think, okay, cool, I done read 6,000 books. Do you understand the content that the 6,000 books are saying, or do you only understand a few points here and there from it? Because more than likely, the natural person, they're not going back and go and read that book again after they read it the first time. You only gonna read it once. So are you actually comprehending what that page is saying, or are you just skimming through it? Reading the books, that was one of the first things that introduced me into me. It introduced me into the things that I actually like. It allowed for me to sit down and become a child of wisdom and start to believe in the things that we used to believe in. But now, with the way that life take you from an adolescent to an adult, it start to slap all of those, imaginary folktale, spiritual things up out of you. No longer do you believe in magic. No longer do you believe in the divine. Because that's what life does. It takes you from an adolescence to an adult, those two A's. And you switch from a lowercase a to a capital A and you just forget the principles. But you used to be a child of wisdom. It's all about how you can come from a child of wisdom and stay a child of wisdom. Because I think some said if you view the word in a way that a child would view it, that's when you know you spiritual again. Not that you gullible or not that you believe anything, but it's also that you don't not believe anything as well. It's not about believing or not believing. It's just about being. You only have this specific agreement that a tree is called a tree. That's because everybody else agree with you that it's a tree. But if somebody question you and say, man, that ain't no tree, then you're going to stop agreeing. Or you might question your agreement that you have. Or that might, spark up that matrix agent in you. And now you want to fight about why that's actually called a tree or not. So, getting back to the books, that was one of the things that just is going to allow for you to act, or allow for me and myself. That's what allowed for me to actually sit myself down, get back into that space of wisdom, getting back into that space of solitude, getting back to that serenity, that peace of mind, and actually just quiet the noise down, because the outside world is so noisy right now. You wouldn't believe the stuff that you could find on the internet right now. You can find so much. It's just a bunch of noise. And you don't want to have that all up in here. You want to be able to quiet that down for a second. You know? You know? So that was the first thing. That's one of my first basics right there. Getting back, reading books. I got it. That's something that I just know for me. In order for me to continue to go on the path that I'm going on, I got to sit down and I got to grab those books. Number two, and probably it should be number one, and this ain't in no order, but I just wanted to say this right now, but fasting. Oh, man. I just get chills in my body right now just thinking about it. Fasting. And I know people to say, I know people say that there's only one type of fasting, and that's just going straight raw with it. Nothing. But hey, coming from where we come from, living in America, or living in whatever society that you only getting a certain amount of things force fed to you and pushed to you, going from eating everything that you ever wanted to just raw, nothing. I'm telling you right now, you take that jump from that to that, hey, it's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough journey. But, they say the only way to eat an elephant is one bite at a time. You can't eat it in its entirety. So if you start to break those things down and say, okay, this month, boom, I ain't eating no sweets. Boom, this month, I ain't eating no meat. Boom, this month, I'm cutting out meat, sweet, and dairy. Boom, this month, I'm only going to eat raw fruits and vegetables. Boom, this month, liquid fast only. Only liquids. Only liquids. Boom, this month, we doing straight water. And then, after you done broke those things down in that way, you done broke that elephant down, now you done prepared yourself for the journey that it's going to take you to just do nothing. Because I'm telling you right now, you're going to have the best feeling about you as possible. Man, if you could just imagine how it feels for somebody to say, hey, look, I'm about to get rid of all of this and I'm about to go on that journey by myself. Me with the Creator. And walk that path. Come on, man. You just broke the cycle of becoming yourself. You just broke that cycle. There's two different forms of habit. There's you as a habit, and then there's the you who you want to become as a habit. Those people got two totally different paths. So you could keep doing the same things that you've been doing, and you're going to get the same exact results. Or you can switch it up and see what you become. Man, it's like a chamber. See, I always post a picture of the hyperbolic chamber on social media just because I'm talking to myself. If you know what the hyperbolic chamber is, then you know. I post that picture because once you go into that chamber and you come out, it's a whole different you. It's a whole different you, man. It's a whole different you. See, the air that you breathe right now as the person who continuing to do the same things is different than the air that the other person gonna breathe. Man, I kid you not. Right now I'm on this journey, and I don't even want to really be telling everybody, but right now I'm on this journey to whereas I ain't consuming no alcohol and I ain't consuming no nicotine. Which, if you know me on a personal level, hey, I used to be pretty, hey, young and turned, man, But, and I like to think of myself as a connoisseur. So, like, I used to want to have every form of, well, I ain't gonna say every form of alcohol, but I used to want to be a person who could say, hey, come to the crib, come consume this. I'm gonna show you this because I'm pretty sure you never had it. And I was gonna go overseas and I was gonna just bring back, these different forms of alcohol, and I was just gonna have them just for people to taste. And that ain't for you to pour a full glass up, but just take a little sip and then boom, that's it. And you know what? Just taste test it with me. And that might be something that I still want to do, but you know, at this moment in my life, man, I ain't gonna lie, I almost cracked the other day. I walked into the liquor store, I was about to grab me something. Went to walking around the liquor store, man, I'm like, dang, I'm about to make a bad decision. I'm about to lie to myself. You know, somewhere somebody told me, I might have said, you know, matter of fact, it was my wife. She said, you know, the original form of sin is lying to yourself. That's what she told me. She said the original sin is just lying to yourself. Because if you could lie to yourself, you could lie to anybody. That's the first sin. The first sin is when you believe something, but then you stop believing it, or when you tell yourself you're gonna do one thing and then you don't do it. How can you betray you like that? You want to hold everybody else accountable for what they not doing for you, but then you gonna do that to yourself? Everybody else owe you an explanation. But when you gonna give yourself an explanation? You gonna force everybody to give you exactly what they said they gonna give you, but you ain't gonna force yourself to do it though. You complaining about how everybody doing you wrong, but what about what you doing to yourself? See, I'm sick of everybody having an answer for what another person ain't doing. What about what you not doing that you said you was gonna do? You said you was gonna write that book. What happened to that? You said you were about to go back to school. What happened to that? You told me you were gonna run a marathon. What happened to that? You told me that by next year you were gonna quit smoking. You ain't did it yet. You also told me that you were a divine person and you out here living a sinful life. And not sinning in no Christian standpoint. You sinning. And I'm talking about lying to yourself. I think that as a man or woman, or just as an adult in general, lying to yourself, that's a sin. That's unforgivable. It is unforgivable. I will not forgive myself if I continue to lie to myself. It just can't, I can't do it. I can't do it. So I got to stand on exactly what I'm going to say. I got to stand on business. What them boys be saying? I got to stand on business to what I'm telling myself I'm going to do. Think I was going to be able to live with myself if I would have never got the crib that I said I wanted to get? You know what them people told me, man, when I was about to try to buy the crib, man? Them people said, hey, man, you can't do that right now. And guess what I did? I said, all right, bet. Hung up the phone with one lender, called the next lender, and guess what he said? Oh, yeah, we could get that for you started right now, today. Come on now. Don't tell me what I can't do. And more importantly, don't let me tell me what I can't do. So, with that being said, man, fasting. I know I got to that other. I got to lying to yourself just because I know, I know the power of actually believing in what you say you're gonna do and then actually doing what you say you're gonna do. But reading books, fasting. The third foundational principle. The third foundational principle that, in order for me to go ahead and establish my dominance in the space that I want to establish it in, is working out. Physical fitness. Physical fitness. Man, I kid you not, man. I haven't been to the gym in almost, on a consistent basis. I used to go to the gym back to back. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Rest day, Sunday. Man, I haven't been to the gym in almost 4 weeks too. Like, I literally been sitting down in idle. I've been on standby pretty much. I haven't been to the gym in almost a month on a consistent basis. And if you know me personally, you know I do box jumps. I love the box jumps. Not because I could jump high. Not because I feel like I'm a fly. It has nothing to do with that. It's about I see this obstacle right here and I'm trying to overcome it. That's it. Man, I get to the gym after a month off. Man, and I'm still he. I'm still him. I don't know what it is. It's like when it get down to the moment of the truth, I just know I can overcome any obstacle. And it's all based on the foundations. Like the foundations is always what's gonna take me there. So physical fitness for me, it ain't about looking good. It ain't about feeling good. It's about putting yourself through that physical pain, putting yourself through that physical test, putting yourself in the face of adversity, putting yourself in a position where you got to overcome something. You ever put yourself under 225 pounds and you don't even weigh that? You know, for the gym junkies, man, I be seeing people putting themselves under 400 pounds. They don't weigh that. No spotter. I ain't talking about with a spotter, man. No spotter. Put yourself under that pressure. No spotter. Something that you never lifted before. I want to see you do that. Put yourself under a weight that you ain't never lift, that you ain't never benched, that you ain't never curled, that you ain't never pressed. No spotter. And see if you can overcome it. For real. These are the things that, you know, if you could do that type of stuff, I ain't advocating for nobody to go out there and hurt themselves, by no means. So if you need to have a spotter on standby somewhere tucked off in the corner peeking, then, do it like that. But I was joking with my lady the other day. I was joking with her. I said, catch me. Catch me. Meaning catch me. I'm about to jump, so you just gonna have to catch me. Cause I'm already comfortable with falling. I ain't tripping about it. Cause guess what? All I'm gonna do is get back up. Bend, don't break. Probably won't even bend. And it's all based on the principles. Reading a book, fasting, physical fitness, putting yourself in those challenging times, and not lying to yourself. Those are the things, man. But I've been in the space lately where it's just like, man, I'm not scared to fail no more. I'm not scared to fail no more. So I just be waiting on people to want to come join. Like, come on. Let me see what you can do, man. Come on. Come with me. Let me show you something. Humbly speaking, unhumbly speaking. The man said, I'm so not sorry. Pretty much. Because I know everything is almost possible. Anything, everything. If somebody got the breath in their lungs to say that they gonna be able to do something, oh my God. Oh my God. If you could speak it, there it is. That's enough for you. If you could speak it, there it is. That's enough. Should have never said it. And for me, just by you saying it, if you're not going to do it after you said you was going to do it, then man, come on now. Drop a like in the comments or something. Say something. Come on now. If you could speak it and you not going to do it, what? Who are you talking to? Don't lie to me. I'm a firm believer of knowing that nobody is lying to me. They're only lying to themselves. I do not have the ability to determine if you're lying or telling the truth. I just don't have the time to do it anyway. So go ahead and say that bullshit that you said you about to say and run with it. And if you can't stand on what you just said, so be it. You sinning. You sinful. And it's gonna show. It's gonna show. It's gonna show every single time. And man, it's the Book of Clay podcast. Man, we've been off for 4 weeks. Man, we about to go ahead and keep it going. Man, you see the fit, the Murano liquid luxury. And that's what it is, man.